an anti-masker parent who wants to see the school building burned down to the ground. Here it is.
Again, I have just one little final statement here. Just give me 1 second. You are violating the U.S. Constitution of the United States. I don't care what mandate the state of Illinois gives. You are violating the rights of these children, the rights of these parents, and your own conscience. If you just pledge to that flag, you are standing against it when you do this masking, this universal stuff to get that money. I'd rather see this school in ashes than to see you sit there with your pockets full while you suffocate our children with diapers on their faces. Not only that, but I have seen these children say to me, to my face, that they're letting us wear it on our chin now. We just have to wear it on our chin, but we got to put it on when we're there. So you're teaching them to lie on top of deceiving them into doing something. We are sovereign citizens of the United States of America, and I stand with that flag and the Constitution and the Nuremberg Code that goes with it. You have no power. You have no power to usurp the rights of our children or the authority that we have over our children. And because they're not old enough to speak for themselves, we stand and speak for them. We the people have had enough. You are a notice. You will all be gone if you don't change your ways right now. With that, I yield.
I mean, I counted 2 veiled threats. 1, obviously burning down the school building, and 2, saying you will all be gone, okay? But let me clarify some things this woman said for the record. It is not a constitutional violation to have a mask protocol or mask mandate inside of a school system. As a matter of fact, school system exists typically by the 10th Amendment of the US Constitution, where states can statutorily create governments, and those governments can enact something called administrative law. School boards have the jurisdiction and the legal ability to mandate vaccination requirements to enter into the school system, teacher credentialing requirements to become a certified teacher, what their pass-fail matrix will look like, and a boatload of other things like enforcing dress codes, etc. These are administrative policies, also known as administrative law. There is no constitutional violation whatsoever. It is fascinating to me that they continue to make extreme arguments. There's no diaper on the face. It's a mask. It is a face mask. And these kids are not doing what the parents are doing. Believe me, if kids wanted to revolt against the face mask, kids will be fighting in schools, not the parents. But you see the parents fighting and using their kids as the cover. A damn shame. Adrienne, thoughts?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of using their children as a cover for them to essentially exercise their political beliefs. And it's unfortunate because as we see, there's been a spike in children being admitted to ERs and hospitals because of the COVID-19 vaccine. Yet these parents are so incredibly losing their ish by virtue of simply trying to keep these children from being infected and harmed. It really speaks to the fact that we do need greater education across the United States, outside of our schools. But when you have parents essentially engaging in this nonsense and tomfoolery, what you're seeing and what the consequences will be is less educated people. It seems like it's happened over the decades, and we're seeing the product of it now from these parents.
And remember, we always in this country, we always do things specifically to protect children, okay? She says, these children have constitutional rights. They have some. Children have some constitutional rights. They do not have all of the constitutional rights. They do not have the right to bear arms. There's a limitation for the protection, the general welfare of others. And it's amazing to me that the same people who will argue that school systems are violating the Constitution with a mask mandate are the same people who were okay with a vaccination mandate, polio, tetanus, and others. They were okay with that, no issue there. And this shows you it's not about the mandate, it's about the politics behind it, which has created a level of occultism. Because once this thing became politicized, they had no intellectual integrity as it relates to what they're talking about. If you believe a mask is government intrusion, why do you not believe vaccine requirements is a government intrusion? You already have vaccine requirements in school. Why are you not making that an issue? Why don't you believe that a dress code requirement is government intrusion? It is an administrative policy set forth by that school system. So I'm looking at the irony here. Adrienne, I try to say it as many times as I can because there are always new people listening. But don't you see the great irony and making the argument that a mask mandate is unconstitutional when all of these other mandates obviously to them are?
Oh, without question. Yep. And it's so interesting because it's a mixture of irony and to some extent hypocrisy. Because I've been saying since day one, when people would fight businesses for being forced to wear masks when they're patronizing the businesses, give me a break. Businesses have forever had no shoes, no shirt, no service. What's the difference with a mask? And also this thought that, hey, as a citizen that you control businesses, schools, all of these things when you've been living your life in a system that helps protect you by essentially requiring everyone around you get vaccinated, so on and so forth. So it's so incredibly sad and ignorant, and it's gonna get people killed.